Hi. So I'm going to talk about a little bit about pricing. Pricing is always scary for everyone. For some reason, it's the one thing I see photographers and other business owners asking about regularly. A common question is, what is everyone else charging for whatever service they're offering? And this isn't a good way to gauge what you need to charge. First, you'll get a wide range of answers. Second, those people are not you. So they don't have the same cost of doing business as you, they don't have the same income need as you, and they don't see their value the same as you. So what's the right answer to figuring out how much to charge for your services or products? Running your numbers is the answer. So some may say, but my competition is charging this amount and I need to compete with them. I can't charge more, I won't get any business. These aren't true, and that's just simply based on fear. A business isn't run on emotion or what others are doing. Sure, it comes into play a little bit, but it's really not the deciding factor. Your competition isn't the people who charge less than you, it's the people who are in your same bracket. And you need to find ways to stand out from them and set yourself apart. So let me give you a little peek on how you figure out your pricing. So a brief overview of what types of things we need to figure out when pricing. Okay, so first, what types of costs do you account for? This will be all expenses for the daily running of your business, which includes but is not limited to utilities, rent, etc. So that's if you have a studio, there's a lot more of those bills, but you also need to figure out where you live, how much, if you have a home office or something like that, how much of that can be considered a business expense. So you really need to look at every single expense coming out, even your car. If you drive to all your sessions, talk to your accountant and figure out, if any of that is considered your business expense and how to work that. Insurance and business fees. So this is all like, registration of your business, insurance, liability and equipment insurance. If you have a studio space, then you might need additional insurance. So you want to include all of these things in there, and any business fees that you accrue as you're starting up your business or anything you foresee in the future. Equipment, and this includes desired equipment. So if you plan on upgrading your equipment soon, or even in the next few years, then you need to be considering that in your costs. I know it's something that you're not doing right now, but it's something that you're going to need to pay for. So that needs to be considered. And your equipment, there's a very specific way that you figure out your equipment. Some people do it in different ways, but it's all pretty similar. So we go over that, and that's part of my comprehensive form bundle that will be available, as well as working with me. All software and hardware. So included in equipment is your computer and things like that. But you also need to consider all the other stuff, the external hard drives, the software you use, if you're using Photoshop or Lightroom, and what you're paying for. Things like that. Your web presence. So if you're paying for email hosting, for web hosting, a gallery site, part of the software and web presence is also your studio management software. So there's a lot of great options out there, and I do have a list of resources that will be available for all the different ones. And I encourage you to shop around and figure out which one will work best for you. Marketing allowance. So you want to figure out how much you're going to spend on marketing. And this might be low to start, and you might raise it as you go. And this is all part of your marketing plan. That's all part of your business plan. So this is why these things are so important to have. Any subscriptions, memberships, continuing education. So this is subscriptions or memberships to educational sites, or it may be a membership to a professional organization or your local chamber of commerce. So these are all things that you need to figure in to your costs as well. And they're also important. You want to make sure you identify the memberships that will work for you and what you're planning to do with your business. And really that depends on the model you choose and where you are located, and doing some research. But again, that's something I help with. I help you figure that out. And ongoing education, you will constantly be learning. So sign up for workshops, hone your craft, sign up for even other things. You want to learn a specific part of the business side that you don't learn if you do decide to work with me, or you want to go more in depth, things like that. So another thing that actually is included in your expenses is also if you hire a lawyer or an accountant, which you should actually have both, to look over your contracts, to make sure that your finances are all set and you're running them correctly and there's nothing you're missing for your specific area. Because while I can give you general information, every state and town can be different. So you want to make sure that you talk to a local accountant about those things. So now what? You need to figure out what you need to make for income. This is to whether you are the sole provider or you are just supplementing income. You need to figure out what you need as your minimum. And then you need to figure out what you want. So what you need is basically, I look at it as that's the bare minimum you need to make. What you want to make is a totally different story. You want to set goals realistic and long-term. So realistically, you're not going to have, the ideal amount of clients that you want to right away. So you want to set some more realistic goals for income earlier versus longer term when you figure out your plan. You need to figure in taxes, you might only need a small amount of money, but then you suddenly realize that, 30% of that goes to taxes. So you need to consider that. And you also want to have a cushion. So you don't want to make the minimum of what you need and want. You want to add a cushion in there because you just never know what could happen. And I'm going to talk about this in the next slides. So also consider your why. What are your goals? Are you looking to get a new house? Is your why just to be able to support your family? Are you looking to travel more and explore the world? These are all things that you want to consider when you're figuring out your desired income, and there's nothing wrong with this. There's nothing wrong with making income that will let you go and do the things you want to do in life, because we are only here once. And what are you working for if you're not going to actually enjoy that life and work towards the things you really want? So what if, and this is sort of a strange one, but what if you needed this business to be your only income if it isn't already? What if something happened that maybe you needed to take some sick or personal time? So this is something I go over with people. Some people are doing it on the side. They already have another job. Some people are doing it, maybe your spouse is the primary provider in the family, and that's all great. That's wonderful, and you're lucky, and that's great that you don't have to support the whole family and that you don't need a high income. However, what if something happened that took away that other income? What if you lost your job, or your husband lost his job, or wife? Or what if somebody in your family got sick and you needed personal time? And as a business owner, we don't have personal time. So you really need to consider all of this when you're pricing. You don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're not making enough money, and then you're either the sole provider or you need to take time off and you don't have any money, extra money, to account for that. So these are things I really speak about with people individually and their individual circumstances. Even myself, I'll be sharing my story in another video, but I found myself in the second scenario. I had to take a significant amount of time off, and I wasn't prepared for it. So, and I'm just on my own. I didn't have anybody else to support. So, and it was tough enough. So I just want people to think about this. It does come into your pricing.
So, do you need one or any of the following? The resources to get started from a comprehensive business plan and cost of doing business worksheet and a guide to walk you through it. I've created a very thorough business plan with even more than just the cost of doing business worksheet. There's worksheets and different things to help you through each step of the way. Examples on the things you should be identifying in each part of the plan specific to photography. I'll also have a general business one as well. Additional worksheets and resources for the startup and daily running of your business. This is, workflow worksheets and order forms and different things that you might need. Someone to assist you through the process, or you can just work alone if you purchase the resources bundle. Feedback to make sure you have everything in order and aren't missing anything. So this is what I'll do in my individual coaching and online group workshops and retreats. Help in identifying your target market and making a plan to reach them. This is part of your business plan, but sometimes you're sitting there trying to figure it out and you can't, and you really need feedback from somebody else, or at least to look over what you've come up with to see if there are any holes in there and you need to fill anything in. Assistance in seeing your worth and identifying resources that will help you. So this is a huge one. People don't see their worth. You look at the numbers, you see it's a high number, you suddenly think, no one's going to pay that for my services, and you freak out. A lot of us have this problem. A lot of us do not see our worth, and it's really difficult to get there. So if I can't get you to see it, then I will try to help you identify resources that will get you there. And then extras like website critique, technical photography help, ongoing support, things like that. So there's a little bit of something for everyone in the programs I have. So, we'll work to create a comprehensive plan for you, understand and accept your worth, find the right clients for you, and have time to enjoy your life and your loved ones, because that's what it's all about. It's not just about making money. It's about making the money so that you have the freedom to both be doing your passion and working hard, but also enjoying your life, because we're only here once. Your kids are only young once. Your ability to travel and do things and enjoy your time here is only here one time. So you can click the link below to contact me and learn more about how we can work together to create your dream business.